Welcome to our in-depth study of the Book of Daniel and the fascinating connection between Iran and the prophetic scenario revealed in the scriptures. This is a topic that sparks curiosity and at the same time raises intriguing questions. What does the Bible say about Iran's role in God's plan? Is there a hidden meaning behind Daniel's visions involving this nation? In this video, we will explore these questions and discover how ancient Persia, present-day Iran, plays a unique and crucial role in the biblical narrative. More than just a historical study, this is an invitation to broaden your theological understanding and apply it practically to your spiritual journey. Get ready for a journey rich in historical details, prophetic insights, and spiritual applications that promise to transform the way you interpret the scriptures. Let's begin. The Book of Daniel is a landmark in the scriptures, a text filled with inspiring stories and prophetic visions that have shaped theological understanding throughout the centuries. To understand Iran's role in the prophetic scenario, it is essential to dive into the historical context surrounding this fascinating narrative. Daniel was written during the Babylonian captivity, a period when the people of Israel were facing profound spiritual and cultural transformations. After Babylon's rise, the Persian Empire emerged as a dominant force under the leadership of Cyrus the Great. This event marked a turning point for the Jews, as it was Cyrus who allowed the exiled people to return to Jerusalem, fulfilling a prophecy declared earlier. Ancient Persia, located where modern-day Iran is, played a central role in this scenario. Its actions directly influenced the events described in the Book of Daniel and other parts of the Bible. By understanding this historical backdrop, we see how God's sovereignty is manifested not only in the scriptures, but also in the nations and leaders he uses to fulfill his purposes. This context prepares us to dive into Daniel's prophetic visions, which reveal Persia's role in a surprising way. Let's move forward to uncover these connections. The Book of Daniel contains some of the most fascinating and mysterious visions in the entire Bible. Among them, the vision described in chapter 8 stands out, where Daniel recounts a ram and a goat in confrontation, each representing great kingdoms. This vision, as explained by the Bible itself, directly refers to the Medo-Persian Empire, symbolized by the ram, and the Greek Empire, symbolized by the goat. In the description, the ram had two horns, one larger than the other, representing the unequal alliance between the Medes and Persians, with the Persians occupying a dominant position. This union formed the powerful Persian Empire, which dominated vast regions and played a crucial role in the liberation of the Jews from Babylonian captivity. This connection is a clear example of how God uses nations to fulfill his divine plans. Additionally, in chapters 10 to 12, Daniel records a series of prophecies detailing future conflicts between the northern and southern kingdoms, often associated with the territory of Persia and its interactions with other powers of the time. These texts not only predict historical events, but also point to broader meanings in the prophetic plan. By understanding these passages, we can observe how Iran's presence in the biblical scenario goes beyond history. It is part of a prophetic context that reflects God's sovereignty over the nations. As we move forward, we will see how these visions are more than ancient narratives. They bring spiritual lessons and implications for the future. Daniel's prophecies not only describe historical events, but also present deep spiritual truths that continue to impact our theological understanding. The role of the Persian Empire, corresponding to modern-day Iran, is a clear example of how God works through nations to fulfill his purpose. In the biblical context, Persia was not merely a political instrument, it was a manifestation of divine sovereignty. The liberation of the Jews under Cyrus the Great's decree was not just a historical event, it was a literal fulfillment of earlier prophecies, such as those in Isaiah, who mentioned Cyrus by name more than a century before his birth. This event teaches us that nothing escapes God's control, and His word is fulfilled exactly and at the right time. Furthermore, the interactions between the kingdoms described in Daniel's visions reveal a pattern of conflicts and alliances that illustrate the struggle between divine purpose and forces seeking to oppose it. These narratives provide a theological foundation to understand how God's plans unfold, even amid events that at first glance seem purely political or geopolitical. For the Christian student, these passages are more than ancient stories. They offer a clear view of God's character, who even uses nations to carry out His designs. In the next chapter, we will explore how these truths can be practically and transformatively applied to spiritual life. Daniel's prophecies were not written only to recount historical events or reveal eschatological mysteries. They carry practical and spiritual lessons that are as relevant today as they were when they were written. By understanding Iran's role in the prophetic scenario, we are led to reflect on how God works through seemingly impossible situations to fulfill His eternal purposes. An essential lesson we learn is that God is in control of history. Cyrus' decree to free the Jews, for example, teaches us that even leaders and nations are instruments in God's hands. This divine sovereignty should fill us with confidence, even when we face challenges that seem insurmountable. Moreover, Daniel's prophecies invite us to cultivate a life of spiritual vigilance. Just as Daniel sought understanding through prayer and study, we are called to deepen our relationship with God, to discern the times and understand His plan in our lives. Finally, these passages remind us of God's faithfulness to His word. When He promises, He fulfills, and this encourages us to live with hope and perseverance, knowing that His sovereign hand is guiding all things for the good of those who love Him. Now, as we approach the end, let's review the discoveries of this study and explore how to apply these truths in our daily lives. Throughout this study, we have explored how the Book of Daniel reveals Iran's role in the prophetic scenario and how these historical and spiritual events are intertwined with God's sovereign plan. From the visions of the ram and the goat to the transformative impact of Cyrus the Great, we have seen that nothing escapes divine control. These discoveries remind us that the Bible is more than a historical record. It is alive and relevant, offering profound truths that can guide our spiritual lives today. Daniel teaches us to trust in God's plan, even when events seem confusing or challenging, and to seek spiritual discernment diligently. Now is the time to take action. If this content has enriched your understanding of the Scriptures, subscribe to the channel for more studies like this. Turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming videos, and share this knowledge with friends and colleagues. You can also leave a comment with your questions or topics you would like to explore. May this journey strengthen your faith and inspire you to deepen your relationship with God. Thank you for joining us on this study, and see you in the next video.